Alright, we're going to be watching Pybot playing Moira and Baptiste on Paraiso. This is Diamond 5 on PC. Returning Overwatch 1 player, peaked at low masters, an Ana Zen main, trying to more casually go on the grind rather than getting too frustrated like I did in Overwatch 1. It's trying to be more clinical of what I did wrong versus what the team slash enemy is doing. I felt very hopeless this match. I'm trying to shake that mindset. I think I should have swapped from Moira to Ana sooner. Made the Orisa to secure a kill, but the other support went to Ana, so I stuck with Moira. I guess that's probably because you don't feel comfortable playing other supports, but I mean, there's plenty of healing as long as there's Nana, so you have many options. But I think I see what your reasoning here. I did not get to utilize my ult, bad, and I dived after our tank to die, very bad. But what else could I have done to make an impact? Was there a better switch? Defense, I did BAP, which is not my strongest support, but I didn't feel good as a defending Moira Mercy with a Zen. I jumped around like crazy, which definitely wasn't the play. All right, so let's take a look. So this is Diamond, so pretty high up there, your top 10%-ish in the game. Alright, so for starters... Okay, you're healing here, which is fine. You have an orb, I would like to point out. I don't think you should throw a healing orb, but I think you should have thrown like a damage orb like right away, because your damage orbs come up, or your orbs in general come up pretty quickly, and you're unlikely to like run a situation where like you need the orb right away to start healing people. And I think on Moira, Moira's really has two things that she's good at. Well, number one, she's really, really good at healing groups of people. Okay, she's excellent for Brawl for that reason. Number one. Number two, Moira farms Coalescence crazy fast because you both do a lot of healing and can do a lot of damage. And Coalescence is not that good of an ultimate, but if you get it very often, you can get like twice as many ults as the opposing team. So even if they have Bead or Trance or Nano or whatever, you can use Coalescence more often and win more fights. Even if every single time they pop a lead they win, you can win twice as many fights just by popping Coalescence all the time and winning it. Okay, so I think with Moira, you really need to think like, I want to farm Coalescence as fast as I possibly can and then use it to swing a neutral fight. All right, so that's number one, that's why you should throw damage orb at the beginning to try to farm, and in general, just try to farm ulti more. Number two, you're healing this Junkrat, okay? And I want you to look at yourself while you heal from third person. All right, so we're gonna go back here. Junkrat's up, takes a little bit of damage, heal, heal, heal. So you see how you're just watching the Junkrat and just walking backwards? I don't feel like you have good spatial awareness. So let's say hypothetically they had a Widow right here. All right, let's play this back. Come up. Okay. You see how you just walk in a straight line backwards? This is what will get you killed. You can't do this, right? You could have healed the Junkrat by just healing him like right here, and then you would have been safe, and then peeked after the healing was done. Right? I think that's very important to think about here is your general kind of awareness of spatial positioning and where you're like, this is a dangerous spot because the whole bridge can see you right now. Like this time you don't get punished, but in general, I think this will happen more. And the fact that you do this at the start tells me that you probably aren't good about thinking about angles in general of like where you can be in danger. All right, so that's the second point. Third point is you have a Lucio, right, and an Orisa. You have to be playing on your Orisa's butt like the entire game because she needs a ton of healing to do her job, and that healing comes from you. All right, the DPS are going to get less healing. That's true, but that's fine. Okay, your Lucio can heal them. They can come back to you for heals. It's fine. Your Orisa's the only one who needs healing to do their job. So you shouldn't have gone this way. Just follow your Orisa around. Like seriously, just follow your Orisa. Okay. So again, you should use like every opportunity to do damage. Like right here, you're too far away to heal the Orisa, okay? This is like a very long distance. Like if you see your heal, like your heal's not actually going far enough. It's only going to about here. You're not able to heal her. So while you walk over to the Orisa, just start damaging high ground, right? So we're gonna go back over here. Right now, you could just be damage over here. Okay, now start healing, right? Every little opportunity you can to get damage when your team doesn't need healing builds Coalescence. And again, farm Coalescence really fast. If you want to get the Masters playing Moira, you have to be crazy good at farming Coalescence. Okay, Junkrat drops right here. So this is kind of an interesting situation. I think nobody's really injured right now, so I think your perspective should be, okay, I'm going to try to help kill this Junkrat. So if you see this happen, immediately throw Damage Orb and then start right-clicking. I think your right-clicking does 40 damage a second right now, and I think Damage Orb does 50. I want to say that's correct. So you're doing about 90 damage a second if you throw Damage Orb and hold right click at the same time, right? Something in the ballpark, 80 to 90 damage a second. Mercy heals, for the record, about 55, 60 damage a second. So you're only doing about 20 seconds net, assuming the Mercy starts healing. But again, that's damage that your Lucio or Orisa could use to potentially kill the Junkrat. right? I don't think there's a reason not to throw Damage Orb right now. Okay, again, you see how low this Junkrat has gotten? Like, Damage Orb potentially would have killed him here because your team actually chases away the Orisa. Okay, again, your Orisa's gone high ground. You should have just gone high ground with her, but she's going to drop back down, so that's fine. I see that. I think it's an okay orb, but honestly, I think I just would have waited for the Junkrat to drop and then heal him. Okay, it's kind of the Junkrat's responsibility to understand that he's playing with a Moira, not like an Ana or a Kiriko who can heal him on high ground, and he has to come back for healing. The reason why is because most of this healing orb is going to get wasted, right? Look at this healing orb. So this is like 2/3. Healing orb heals, I think, 300 health. It only killed maybe 100 from your Junkrat, so you see how big it is still? So most of this heal did not give you any value. Versus, right, over here, if you throw this heal, instead of throwing a damage orb here, you throw this heal orb forwards, right? Like to the left over here, and then it bounces back, you'll probably get full healing on that orb. And this is okay time damage. Again, so remember that Moira does really good healing over time. I think it's something like, I should have looked up the stats before this. It's something like 50 over 3 seconds or something like that if you just tap them once. So you should be always thinking about your gauge. In this situation, nobody's in big danger. You can just do one quick heal, flick to heal all 3, and then go back to damaging. Moira pops, or Orisa pops Fortify, which she doesn't need here. Unfortunate. Okay, so I can already see that you're just not using Orb enough, right? Basically use Orb every single time it comes off cooldown. it has like a 6-second cooldown or something crazy low. Let's see the next time you use it so we can actually see. Yeah, you don't use Orb that ever. Damn. Right, so use it right here. 8-second cooldown. Okay, so it's pretty quick. It's not like you can't heal when Orb is up, right? So, again, heal everybody. Break secure is okay. Don't walk in front of your tank. Never walk in front of your tank, right? As a general rule, never walk in front of your tank. Little things like walking just a little bit too far, that can get you killed. Alright, so right now, like, you could toss a damage orb or you could toss a healing orb. Based on the damage, I'd probably toss a healing orb. Right? I probably toss a healing orb like this, bounce it off this wall, and then it'll go this way, and then it'll go that way. Right? That way everyone just gets healed here. Again, Junkrat's super low. You should immediately throw a healing orb. Right? Too late. Junk dies. Again, you're healing your Orisa, who's full health. Like your Orisa's full health right now. You shouldn't be healing. Right? You can see that she's full health. Like you can just damage right now. Right? She doesn't have spin. I would throw damage orb right now. Why? Because there's nothing to do. Like your Junk's dead. Okay? You're just poking right now. Poke. Right? Damage orb is your poke. Toss it all, like literally you're 32% ulti right now. You could be at 45% ulti right now if you were just constantly trying to poke more. Right? Don't throw damage orb when you need to save people with healing orb, but generally speaking, like if you don't need orb for anything else, just keep damaging. Yeah, see? Just keep damaging. Your Orisa's totally fine. I mean, she shouldn't be fortifying right now, but whatever. Right? So, you notice right here, watch. So remember I told you don't walk in front of your tank? So you see damage. Okay, you see how you walk forwards, and now you've just gotten ahead of your tank, and then you eat the shot, and then you eat the second shot, and now you're half dead. Right? There's no reason to ever walk in front. I mean, almost no reason. There's technically some scenarios, but generally speaking, there's no reason to walk in front of your tank. Okay? You should have never gone past this point. Okay, this is like reasonably safe. Okay, Orisa goes forward, you walk forwards. If you go backwards, you walk backwards. This dance is very important as support. All right, especially main healer support. This is like an absolutely critical skill for you to like be ingrained and do instinctively. Your tank goes forward, you go forwards. Your tank goes backwards, you goes backwards. Right, doing this thing where you accidentally walk in front is how you take a ton of damage. Right, because you easily could have died there if the Orisa just targeted you. Okay, so. Damage orb is okay, but I will tell you that when in doubt, if you're not sure whether to throw a damage orb or a healing orb, throw a healing orb. Healing orb heals, I think, 50% more than damage orb does. I think it's 300 versus 200. So, typically speaking, healing is going to be more useful than damages. Okay? So, again, you ate a dynamite right now. Healing orb would be super helpful, but you don't have it because you just threw a damage orb. Again, if you just threw a healing orb like against the back wall, it would come back, right? Or you could toss it just this way, right, and have it bounce back and forth. That's actually probably even better. Yeah, definitely not having heal here is a problem. Okay, you see you're running out of juice right now. Again, very important to have good gauge management as Moira, and you're just not doing a great job of that. Right? Heal Orb also helps take some of the pressure off of you. Damage Orb will help you farm some gauge, but generally speaking, it's not as helpful. Alright, I think this is a good fade. Just get rid of Dynamite because you're obviously not going to be a problem. Right? I think this is a good back. Right? You throw the Heal Orb. Again, the Heal Orb's like a little too far back. I think I would target farther forwards, but it actually ends up being okay. Keep damaging. Okay, you're tracking. Right? So Moira should basically never miss. Especially against tanks, Moira should never miss. Like 99 to 100% accuracy. So let's watch your tracking here. So things are good so far. Okay, you break it. Right? Then you damage again. And then you break it. And you just kind of hang out here for a while. And you're still not really tracking. Okay, now you start tracking again. And then you break it. Right, because obviously she's super low, but this is not so good. For diamond level, I think this aim is probably below average. Right, I think that you need to work on your tracking, and just obviously many different ways of doing that. None of which I'm gonna try to cover in this video, but you can just look up general how to improve your aim in Overwatch and get lots of content. But yeah, I mean for sure you need to be able to hit like every tick off Orisa, even at that distance. Okay. So Orisa dies here. There's not a lot you can do about this. Well, actually, you should be healing earlier. Okay, you see your Orisa's critical. I think you should be healing right now. You have plenty of gauge. You have plenty of gauge right now, right? It's 2/3 gauge. You should be healing the Orisa. Right? Instead, you're still damaging. Right? Your Orisa's crazy low, and then kill. You could 100% have saved this Orisa. I take back what I said originally, that there's nothing you could have done. You easily could have saved this Orisa just by healing. You had plenty of gauge here. There's no reason the Orisa should die. Now that your Orisa's dead, the fight's over, and now you're forced to retreat. Again, throw a damage orb, right? It's going to be a while before your Orisa comes. Throw a damage orb. Throw a damage orb. No, throw a damage orb. It's really hard to heal people at that distance. So, this Orisa is actually overextended. So, watch, your Orisa's going to die here. Right? You go back. Heal. So, watch this Orisa. So, this Orisa goes up to challenge both of your DPS right here. On this high ground. So if you go up here right now, it is a 3v1, right? 2 DPS and a Moira against 1 Orisa. She is making a big mistake stepping up here all by herself, and she could easily die. But you don't step up, right? You like damage here from a distance, but all you have to do is just fade in here. Okay, and I think fading in here would be okay, and then throw Healing Orb, and then everybody here lives, and then the Orisa dies. Okay, that's a pick all by yourself. If you kill the Orisa here, like the point is 1. And you're like way too careful here, and like you get in too late. I would have, as soon as I saw this Orisa start going in right now, the second she goes in, I fade in right behind her, right? And I start healing. I throw Healing Orb, because again, without spin, there's nothing she can do. And as long as she doesn't javelin me into a wall, there's no way she can kill me. With Healing Orb, there's 0 chance an Orisa can kill me there. And I say that as an Orisa player, right? You play way too far back. Again, you could have faded, already been up here, throwing a Healing Orb in their face, but you don't. And as a result, your jump dies. So you just lost another 15 seconds and not gotten the pick. So when you say, hey, this, like, what could I have done here? Like, there are opportunities, right? There's a lot of opportunities. You should have saved your Orisa. You could have killed that Orisa right there. Right? A lot of high value opportunities for you to influence the game. Okay, so right here, your Orisa's turning the corner. Okay? Your Orisa's turning the corner here. What are you doing? You're just playing way back here, right? Watch. Orisa goes around the corner. Where are you? Why aren't you turning around the corner? Right? Like, you should be playing on your Orisa here and keeping your Orisa up. So there's no reason to be playing this far back. Now your Orisa's going to take a lot of damage, right? She's getting surrounded, and there's no help from you. Okay? What are you scared of? Well, the Junkrat? But the thing is, you should have been here before you even knew the Junkrat was there. A. B, you can just throw a Healing Orb or something, keep yourself alive. You could have played this room, right? There's a lot of options here. You're playing so passive while your Orisa's in. Now, granted, your Orisa should be this far in, but you also don't really have any choices here. Your Orisa has to push it eventually. I think that in this situation, I probably would have faded to like right here, if not like underneath, and then thrown Heal Orb. And then I would have made sure the Junkrat can't one-shot. Okay, so you have Coalescence right now. So I look for an opportunity for Coalescence. For Coalescence, you typically want to go for backline squishies, right? Supports, DPS, anybody that you can kill Coalescence. Coalescence, I think, also does something like 50 damage a second, give or take. maybe even more than that, maybe like 70 damage a second. So it takes about 3 seconds to kill someone, give or take. Right? Let's just assume it's 3 seconds right now. And you want to just pop Coalescence and just track somebody and kill them. And preferably, the best way to do it is where your team is also in front of you, so you can both heal and damage. But it doesn't always happen. Right? Crossing that gap again, you cross this gap without looking. Right? If you cross this gap, you should cross this gap like this, looking at them the whole way, getting ready to dodge. Just running in a straight line like this without looking is what can get you killed. So right here, again, you're not really looking, you just cross, you should die for that, right? If I threw Javelin, for example, if I'm the Orisa right here, watch, you're not looking at me, I throw Javelin right here, pins you into this thing, and I kill you. Even at this distance, I could kill you, for sure, here. Because you're not even looking. You're not looking, so you're not going to dodge it, and then that does 100 damage, I only need to do 100 more damage with shots, and that distance, I just shoot at head level, and you die. Which, you know, with the fight, of course. Alright, everyone's in here. Again, you take a ton of damage, you should throw Heal Orb right away. Right? I think you should even preemptively throw Heal Orb, because you know your Orisa's going to take damage here, right? There's no way that they're just not going to attack your Orisa. So I think you preemptively throw Heal Orb as you're dropping down. Unfortunate you ate that shot. And then you get killed by Ashe. Right? I think the Ashe on high ground is also a problem here. So what is the optimal play here? So first of all, you're kind of slow coming out this door with the Orisa. Right? Again, consistently, you see how your Orisa like steps forward, and then you're slow coming out. So throwing Heal Orb immediately down, and then popping Coalescence, and then using the Coalescence to kill the Mercy or the Ashe. Right? Don't even need to drop. Just playing from here and just wiggling and just killing the Mercy or the Ashe. There's nowhere they can hide here. You know what I mean? Like the Ashe can drop backwards, but the Mercy has nowhere to go. Like she's probably gonna die if you pop Coalescence here, and that's a big play. You don't need to be healing your Orisa here because she's full health and presumably has all of her cooldowns. Well, most of them, and soon at least. So I think that's your big play, right? If you want to turn this fight, just pop that right there. Right? Eating both of those shots and dying is very bad. Obviously, like you completely screwed over your team because your Orisa committed ulti to it, your Tracer committed pulse, so your team blew 2 ultis and aren't even close to capturing this point. Not least of which because you just died instantly at the start. Alright, now your Anna's dying, so this is another 15-second stagger. Right. Just waiting for your tank to come. Again, follow your tank in. Not the time for a damage orb. Weirdly enough, I'm like always telling you to spend damage. You already have Coalescence. Right? You already have Coalescence, A. B, this Orisa's not going to die. There's no way this Orisa dies here because she's going to get double pocketed. Even if you can anti her, she's going to get Suzu'd. Right? I want to use the damage orb against people who feel that damage. 200 damage to an Orisa, not a big deal. 200 damage to a Kiriko, super big deal. I want to try to aim the orb at backliners in this situation because I'm not farming for ulti. Okay? As Moira, you're either in farm for ulti mode or you're not farm for ulti mode. Okay? Once you have ultimate, your goal should be obviously keep people up, but try to get picks. And I think if you, as Moira, if you don't try to get picks, then you're not using her kit well enough, and you are not going to climb. Okay, again, see, damage orb doesn't really do it. Like you see how like it's like negligible damage to her. Like, all right, this is good fate to survive. Unfortunately, your Winston's in, and he killed your Anna. There's nothing you can do here, right? This is just a reset. Trish is dead. That's another stagger. Okay. So Winston's in. Again, your like general lack of paying attention to where you can get shot from gets you messed up really bad. Okay. You're just kind of wandering over here, right? You eat this shot from the Ashe, and then you just die. See, I knew this was gonna happen because you don't pay attention to the enemy at all, right? I think we can agree, if we look at this, this is a dangerous spot to stand. Is that fair? This is a dangerous spot to stand. I think we can also agree that walking in a straight line is also dangerous. It's more dangerous than dodging, right? It's easier to hit somebody walking in a straight line like a robot in the training grounds than it is to hit somebody who's like AD strafing like this. Can we agree? So, you decide to just simply walk across this area and just get killed. And that can't, even at Diamond 5, that can't happen, right? Like this can't, this is just bot behavior here where you just walk across, unfortunately. So, what are your options? Number one, or you have many options actually. Number one, go this way, which is much better cover, right? You go from here to the car to here, and it also pulls you further back, so you can't get shot from high ground. That's number one. Number two, you can fade across to the Winston, which is only safe to do if you're not going to get punished for it. With the Winston bubble here, there is no way this Orisa is going to kill you, right? Your Ana's here, your team is here. You could fade across and play with the Winston. That's option number two. Option number three, you can cross this and like jiggle peek and see if it's a problem while also throwing a heal orb for yourself. I wouldn't do that unless you're desperate, but just letting you know that is also an option. But simply walking in a straight line is not an option. This is not one of the viable ways to not die in this situation. So you got picked again. Again, team's back in standard row. Okay, this is crazy. So you're coming into the fight. You're coming into the fight late. You pop Coalescence right here. You can't even see the person who's injured. Oh, I guess the point's about to end. So I would have faded first, right, to get distance, and then pop Coalescence. Okay, so obviously the single biggest issue here is that your team just can't attack. And your team can't attack because you're consistently dying, right? Let's kind of track the fights one by one and see what you could have done. All right, here's fight number one. All right, I remember fight one. For fight number one, right, your Orisa just straight up dies here. Okay, again, you could have saved the Orisa here because if you just kept healing, like you're damaging right now, Orisa starts taking damage, right? You take more damage, you get pushed back, that's fine, right? Still fine. I would throw Healing Orb right now. You don't do it. You used Fade. Okay, heal Lucio. Heal your Orisa. Right, you're using a ton of gauge right now. You should maybe tap fire if they're safe. Right, you start damaging orb. You javelin. Right, you throw a damage orb. Tracer dies. Unfortunately, I think she gets one tap by the jump. Yeah, she's one tap right there. Right, you fade again. It's pretty okay. Now you start damaging. You have half gauge right now. Right, you're playing way far back for some reason. Again, you're like out of range to heal your Orisa, even though you should be. Right, your Orisa starts losing. You're damaging right now as your Orisa just gets burned down. Right, still hasn't got any healing from you. Still hasn't got any healing from you. Now you start healing and she's dead. Right, so that's number one. Right, fight number one, that's on you. Okay, you could easily have kept that Orisa alive. Fight number two, Orisa's out of position. Okay, this is the one I talked about where the Orisa's out of position. She walks up. Again, she spins up. She's clearly not going to be looking for you. Just fade in, right? Throw heal orb, right? Heal your DPS. The DPS will kill the Orisa. And then you also have Coalescence there if you need to. Okay, see both DPS trying to go for the Orisa. You just don't play aggressively enough, and then they die. Okay, fight number two, also on you. All right here. Oh yeah, this is the one where you just get blown up coming out of the door. So, fight number three, okay, Orisa is trying to go out this door. Again, just throw your heal orb for her and then pop Coalescence, and then you can deal with high ground, you can deal with Mercy, like anybody, pretty much anybody. At low diamond, no one can kill you out of Coalescence. You regenerate way too much health for the vast majority of heroes to reliably kill you, especially at distance, right? All you gotta do is throw a heal orb to make sure your Orisa doesn't die, pop Coalescence, kill whoever you want, right? Kill the Mercy, kill the Ashe, kill the Junkrat, kill the Kiriko, anybody you want except for the Orisa. Orisa's not gonna die here. Like, even though she looks low, she's not gonna die. So, easily could have popped Coalescence to win this fight. You eat damage, and then you get killed. And I think you didn't pop your orb. Yeah, and you didn't pop your orb. Okay, so fight three, also on you. Coming down to fight four. Oh yeah, fight four, you just walk across the gap and die. Actually, maybe not. I guess fight four, tire kills your team. Kills your end. Okay, so you gotta reset. Alright, that's fine. So here we go, fight five. Again, I think you could just fade right now and go help your Orisa right away. You're healing a bunch of people who have full health. Then you just walk across the gap and then you die. So fight five, also on you. And then fight six, there's no time left. So you could have done a tremendous amount differently in this game. Keeping heroes alive, killing opposing heroes, and not dying. All of those things you could have done. And I don't think any of those were high skill things. I'm not telling you to be like, oh, you know, track a Tracer blinking around and kill her or something. It's like, no, just heal people. It's pretty straightforward typically. All right, you're playing right here. You're playing Baptiste. Let's take a look at your Bap gameplay. So this is already bad. So Baptiste is not a healer. I think this is what's really important to emphasize. Baptiste's value comes from damage and healing. If you only heal, you will fall as Baptiste. I'm going to tell you that straight up. Baptiste has two rhythms: shoot, shoot, heal, or shoot, heal, shoot, heal. You must always, I would say almost always, be doing those things. Okay? The reason why is because shooting for Baptiste is quote unquote free, because the healing and the shooting have independent cooldowns. So shooting, you can shoot and then heal and then shoot, and that is not faster than just shoot, 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 because of their independent cooldowns. Okay? Very important to do what's called weaving, where you weave the shots and the heals. The problem is you can't weave shots if you can't see the enemy. So you might as well just play right here, right? Shoot, heal, shoot, heal, shoot, heal, shoot, heal, shoot, heal, or shoot, shoot, heal, shoot, shoot, heal, shoot, shoot, heal. Okay? This passive play is no good. This is like if you're playing Kiriko, this would be like okay, right? Again, see how hard it is to hit grenades when you're far away too? Right? You pop regen burst there, but I think you're out of range and the Torb has dropped. Yeah, I don't think he gets this. Again, you see there's a pharmacy. Again, you can help with that. Baptiste is really good at that. I'm surprised this is PC because it looks like you're when you move your mouse, it looks like you're on a controller. It's so smooth when you move that it looks like it's on a controller. But okay, again, no need for boots there. Playing behind your Orisa is totally fine. That's good. Right, heal your Zen. Right, keep an eye on your Orisa. Again, you're only healing here, which means you're eventually gonna lose this fight. All right, you have to shoot. Like this is a great example, right? Shoot the junk, heal the Orisa. Shoot the junk, heal the Orisa. If you only heal, yeah. See, now you're only shooting. Yeah. Don't worry about that up top. You're like over prioritizing this. What's going on up here? All right, so pretty tough situation, right? Again, the point has no real cover. I think Lamp here is okay. I think you should have thrown it closer to the Zen. I don't think walking close. Yeah, so here's the other thing is that I don't think you trust your aim either, right? Right here, all you have to do is just shoot this step, and the Zen will get healed. But you notice how you just kind of mindlessly walk at the Zen? What if there's a Pharaoh rocket coming straight at you? And granted, Lamp's here, but you could drop you to very, very low, and then they kill Lamp, and then you die. Right? I think you have this problem. Yeah, I think you have this problem where if you're healing something over here, you cannot help but start drifting towards it. Right? You're like, oh, I'm healing you, I'm healing you, I'm healing you, I'm healing you. Like, you can't not do that. which is bad because you're potentially moving yourself out of a better position. I think on this point, right, you want to be playing something like this doorway, this side of the doorway, maybe high ground, but not against a Pharah. Okay? Potentially this doorway in some situations, and potentially this doorway in some situations. I would generally try to stay out of the middle of the point, because you see how you're taking a ton of damage. Okay, you also reload right here. I guess you only have one healing left, yeah. Right, you're getting absolutely spammed out because you don't have cover. You're very lucky to not die. And the central problem here is that you're just standing in the open, right? Everyone's targeting you right now. If we look, everybody's going to be targeting you. Right, spam shooting, right? The Orisa's trying to kill you, right? The Pharaoh's trying to kill you, and finally she gets you. And plus the Kiriko. All you had to do was just play this doorway, or this part of the doorway, and then the Pharaoh can't hit you anymore. And the junk would have a really hard time hitting you as well. Okay. You're mostly just running around with not really knowing what your plan is, and then you die, and then once you die, the fight's over. Oh, okay, yeah. Time's up. All right. So, tips or summary. I would say number one, I'm honestly a little surprised that this is Diamond 5. I'm going to be brutally honest. I'm a little surprised this is Diamond 5 because this does not look like Diamond 5 gameplay to me. I feel like this probably is more like low plat, maybe? Like, it feels like you don't really know how to move or follow your tank or use your abilities. Right? So I'm actually really surprised. I wonder if you played any other heroes to get up to Diamond 5, but neither your Moira nor your Bap look particularly good. I wonder if you're a lot better at Ana, which I wouldn't be surprised at. But at least your Moira and Bap look like significantly worse than Diamond 5. But number one is general positioning, right? Stay close to your tank. Don't cross open gaps and get killed for it. look for opportunities to be aggressive, right? Number two, you just don't throw orb enough, like at all. You need to be throwing orb like basically every single time it's off cooldown. If there's something you could do with it, do something with the orb. I think it's very, very important. Number three, farm coalescence as fast as you possibly can. Number four, don't like save teammates that are around you, right? Don't be damaging when your tank is super low. Just heal them. Number five, use coalescence intelligently, which takes practice and game awareness. But use coalescence. Try to kill a squishy with it. We didn't even cover anything advanced here. Like we didn't cover, for example, fading to a support, throwing damage orb, and then popping coalescence, which is a very strong combo. And it's a reason why a lot of people do not like Moira if they play support, because it's really hard for them to deal with that. Because you can kill them very, very fast. Like in under 2 seconds, you can kill them if you do that combo. So like we didn't even get a chance to really cover any advanced Moira gameplay because your Moira level right now is way too low compared to where it really needs to be to solidly play in Diamond. In Baptiste, you clearly are playing as just straight up healing, and you're not trying to get any damage out. I would say your aim also needs a lot of work. To play Baptiste. Baptiste is a very aim-intensive hero, right? You have to be very precise with the aim with Baptiste, and I think that your positioning as Baptiste is not very good, and I think that your regen burst and lamp are just not great. Again, it looks like you're lost. I mean, it sounds like you don't really play Baptiste, so that makes sense. It looks like you're lost playing Baptiste, and it looks like you're generally also kind of lost playing Moira. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if your Ana is just way better than these other heroes. Okay, hopefully that's helpful.